All right. The Show Me the Money on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is presented by WynnBET. WynnBET is now live in Arizona, Colorado, Indiana, Louisiana, Massachusetts, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Virginia. From boosted same-game parlays to live in-game odds, WynnBET has what you need to win. Bet $100 and get $100 at wynnbet.com or download the WynnBET app and start winning today. State restrictions do apply. We're brought to you.
Yeah,
here he
Pat,
is.
can I break in here for a second? We've
course.
been doing these WynnBET ads for a long time, and obviously this past weekend, Jerry from WynnBET invited us out to Las Vegas, and we got to stay in the suites, the DJ Pauly D room, he called it.
The best room they got.
I think it's the one where they filmed the second season of Double Shot at Love. And we had a lot of fun. They gave us each $10,000 to bet on the Oscars, which I believe we tripled.
Yeah, it was really nice of Wynn, but it was what needed to be done. I think everyone knew that it was finally time for him to pony up.
Yeah, and I said that I was surprised because our show is quite small. And then he said, we do this for all of our podcasts when they hit 2K. And I said, how did you get our numbers? I don't have access to that. And what is 2K? He said, K to him, because he's so rich, means million.
Wow.
Like 1,000 is a million to him.
Yeah, he was very hard to understand, but when someone is that rich, you accept that you can't understand.
We've never even heard of.
Yeah, it's going to be great when it hits the market in 10 years because he looked like he was having an amazing time.
Yeah, but it's just been a great time being part of the Wynn family, and I can't thank everybody enough, and I wish them another 75 years of happiness.
Yes. I mean, I tell everyone I meet now, you got to start gambling, but you specifically have to gamble only with the WynnBET family. That is the place to mortgage your house, sell all of your jewelry, sell your wedding ring, whatever you got to do to get that gambling money, but do it with the fine folks at WynnBET because they are good people who take care of their people, who are testing the designer drugs of the future that we're all going to love.
Yeah.
And
legal and safe.
Legal.
Also.
Yes.
And it's been proven by every doctor.
Yes.
So nothing weird is going on there, obviously.
No.
On the cutting edge at Wynn, and we're here for it. Oh, Pat, did I tell you one other thing? I have a song for you.
Oh, let's hear it.
We're also brought to you by the Deegan Dance. Our March Madness Bingo contest is back. Free to enter and 1,000 in cash and prizes up for grabs. Plus, we've got first half under bingo.
Wow.
Under the score. I see. Enter both contests on the SGPN app and don't ask me for clarification.
So, and it is Deegan, right? It's not Degen. I've heard both over this past 4 months that we've been doing this.
Both know no one from the network has listened to the show, just the ads.
Yeah, just the ads.
So we've asked every show, and no one has ever answered us.
Yeah, I assume it's Degens because it comes from the Latin degenerate gambler. So that's what I thought. But then I've also heard Deegan. So
I've definitely heard Deegan on other shows.
Yeah. We should have asked Wynn that one because he would definitely know. I'm sure he's the one who came up with the term because he's the man in charge.
For sure. Oh, I was talking to Jerry at Wynn, and he said that Kate Blanchett actually won, but a buddy of his switched the cards because he had bet too much on Yo. And that brings us to the show. This is the Show Me the Money season finale, Pat. Wow. I'm your host, Nick the Father Turner.
I'm Pat the Hat Stango, and this is the after party to the Oscars. It finally
We're still at the
happened.
Chateau, Pat.
Yeah, well, they won't let us leave because we're persons of interest.
We're in
So
the jail at the Chateau Marmont, which is a
it's so
very
nice.
fancy jail. Yeah, we got
Yeah,
martinis.
yeah, it's so nice. I mean, this toilet that's in the middle of the room is
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Oh, and in terms of people watching, who isn't here?
Yeah, who isn't here? Well, a lot of
Well,
celebrities were
Will
not at the
Smith's been
Oscars.
banned from this jail for 10 years.
Yeah, he's not here. But Tom Cruise is here. Everyone was asking why wasn't he at the Academy Awards? He's
Yeah,
at the jail at the
for
Chateau
sure. Well,
Marmont.
he had saved movies
Hmm.
with Top Gun, and now he wants to save the jobs of all the workers striking at the Chateau Marmont. And obviously, the management has issues with that, so they jailed him.
Yeah.
And they don't have power to do this
No, but he
legally.
promises that his Scientology folks are going to break us out of here very soon. But I said not until after we have recorded our final episode of this podcast.
Yeah, no,
then
Tom, we
break us out.
don't have 3 microphones.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah, he's listen, he likes being the center of attention, but not tonight. Tonight it's about us.
Get
because
off my couch, Tom. Sorry.
you and I, we did what we said we were going to do at the
Yeah.
very start of this podcast, which is
Yeah.
we won money gambling on
Yes.
the Oscars.
Yes.
We backed up our talk because we
Yes.
both came out pretty well ahead.
Yes. I would say we both around doubled, Pat. Would that be accurate?
Yes, I went over my numbers and I put in total about $300 just on the Academy Awards.
Yeah.
And I came out with about a little over $700. So I came up plus 400. That also included $50 worth of just bets I made the day before on long
Yeah.
shots at the time, and that got me nothing.
That got me nothing. It's so sad and so
Got me
stupid.
nothing.
And we need to follow our own fucking rules. Betting
Yeah.
at the end is worthless.
Yeah, you have to. I mean, so that's the thing about us as a gambling show.
Unless it's for not long shots.
Unless the thing about betting at the
Don't be
end,
putting money on fourth placers, huh?
the thing about putting money on at the very end is you've got to have a load of money and a site that will not limit you, and then you just put all the money on a sure thing, a slam doink like Kiwi Kwan.
Yeah.
Like if you could have put like $50,000 on Kiwi Kwan the day before to make, I guess, what would you make, 10 grand or something like that, then that's the bet to make. But basically,
you know what I would have put it put it on? I thought about this. If I had 50 grand to bet day of Oscars, what I would have put it on? Navalny.
Wow, that was to you the slammest of all the doinks.
No, it was the right price for what I thought was a slam doink because it was minus 250. And I thought that would be an incredible, if I had 50 grand, whatever, I didn't think about that number, but
right.
If I had 50 grand and I could make 20 grand off of it, like that's a slam doink. That was the line for me in the favorites races.
Yeah. If I had 50 grand, I mean, I probably would have just kept it, to be honest. But if I
you would have put it
bet
in fucking Austin Butler's butt crack.
I would have put it on Austin Butler. So thank God I didn't have 50 grand.
We need to do a victory lap as a show.
Yeah,
because we did quite well. And I don't know if people know that. Maybe we should have started off the show with, hey, congrats. We're the smartest people alive. But
yeah,
I think we pat ourselves on the back enough. But if someone is just listening to this for the first time, and I don't blame you. Somebody told you, wow, I listened to this podcast. They doubled my money.
Yeah.
So I put in about I would say somewhere between $500 and $600, and I was able to take out $1,300, Pat.
Oh my God, that is so great.
Yeah,
most
of my money, as we discussed, was on the Daniels. both the Daniels to win director and best picture, and half of my money basically was on the plus 700 odds, and the other half was on even odds. But put it all together, and Kate Blanchett lost, and that
Mhm.
sucks because I put a lot of late money on her because
Okay.
she was looking juicy odds, Pat.
Yeah, I had so my big 4 wins were, and these were bets again that I probably made in December, was Daniel's director, Everything Everywhere Best Picture, Michelle Yeoh Best Actress, and Jamie Lee Curtis for Best Supporting Actress. And these were all, when at the time when I made them, all of these people were probably running no better than 4th or 5th. They were all underdogs. And yeah, I mean
Okay,
it's
Pat, riddle me this.
pre-nominations.
Riddle me this. Um, okay. So for me, 2 years
Mhm.
ago, Anthony Hopkins over Chadwick Boseman. That's my claim to fame.
Yes.
Last year, Troy Kotzer in December. That's my claim to fame. This year, before we get into this year, what are your last 2 year claim to fames?
My claim to fames, I mean, I would go with Troy Kotzer also last
Yeah,
year. You
yeah,
know,
we
Troy
were all
Kotzer
on
and
that.
Coda, we were both all on that.
Yeah,
I mean, the year before, I would not say I had a claim to fame. I mean, I had
yeah.
Bozeman winning that like everyone else. I didn't have any great picks in the
Did you
Nomadland
have
year.
Did you have the father for screenplay?
Um, Probably not. I honestly can't remember because I didn't actually bet money that year. I only did the Oscar
No, for
pool.
sure, for sure.
But no,
Okay. So this year, what's our little elevator pitch? I mean, I guess it has to be Everything Everywhere episode 1, right?
I mean, that's it. We called the Daniels winning best director in the face of everyone on the planet saying Steven Spielberg was definitely going to win.
Yeah.
You
I
know, I would,
mean, yeah.
at the time we called the Daniels, they were someone that people thought maybe would get an Oscar nomination. They were not even looked at as a sure thing for getting the nomination, and we said they were going to win.
Yeah.
So that is a claim to fame.
Now I have to say another thing just in terms of like last minute prognosticating.
Mhm.
Excuse me.
Mhm.
We declared on our last show that Babylon would win a bagel.
Yes, we
And every
did.
other show said it was going to win one, definitely, probably two.
Yes. Yes. Everyone thought production design was going to be a slam doink. I'm going to call him out right now because I know he listens. Someone who hosted a few episodes of the show with us, Clayton. He was texting me while listening to our last episode saying, "You guys are wrong. Babylon is winning production
Yeah.
design. They love to pat themselves on the back, old Hollywood, blah, blah, blah." And we stuck to our guns. Babylon was a movie that people did not like, that was not going to win an Oscar.
Now, Pat, here's where I have to break away because we each have to present a case for why we were the best.
Okay.
Okay. So, personally, 1 point for me is that I've been very anti Elvis, and obviously I went with Brendan Fraser and had chastised you at least once an episode about your love for Austin Butler, and I was right about that. Now,
Yes.
I also, I believe, predicted 0 wins for Elvis
You
before
did.
you convinced me to change on costume or
Yeah.
no makeup.
On makeup, I thought it was going to win makeup and actor. Yeah.
And so I'd always been with the whale. The last minute, I let you, and that's on me. That's not something you did to me. Obviously, it
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
it was a good argument, but ultimately, I had been right, and Elvis was a turkey from day fucking one. And God, if you are a psycho and want to listen to early episodes, I've been having to listen to this
Oh, for
4
4
months.
months. Yeah.
This
4
fucking
months.
Elvis bullshit, and it got nothing. But also Bill Nye His movie will not even come out this year, I bet.
So it is incredible that as of today, we still cannot watch Bill Nye in Living
It's
in
so
our
weird.
homes. How is this possible that is a movie that could only be seen on the big screen? The Oscars ended.
I mean, at
Just let
most
us see this.
at most it's like a $20 rental, but it may not even be available.
Yeah,
But $20 isn't available to me.
No, $20 is
at
not
my
at
house.
home.
If I spend $20, I'm sitting in a theater listening to Dolby, dog.
Yes. Okay, so Elvis, that is my cross to bear. That I have been pro Elvis for 4 months. At points, I think I had predicted Baz Luhrmann was going to get a director nom nom nom. That's how high on Elvis I was. So I accept that. I put too much stock into Austin Butler's SNL hosting appearance. I think I've learned an important lesson, which is to not give that much weight to a solid SNL monologue.
Yeah, because also it's the writing. He
Yeah.
didn't write it. He's not Dave Chappelle. He's not saying, I got this.
Yeah. It's a lesson to learn. It's a lesson to learn, not make that. So here's what I will put in my favor.
Okay.
In terms of separating me and you.
Because I thought about nothing in terms of what
you were very all in on Angela Bassett winning that supporting actress this whole time. And I think that is your Elvis. Angela Bassett is your Elvis.
Okay.
You thought that the BAFTAs didn't matter, that none of that she was going to win that supporting actress. You were very all in on,
I thought
honestly,
okay, to my credit, I switched at the last minute because of the BAFTAs to Carrie Condon.
You did. Okay. So then I guess that's not your Elvis, because I never wavered on my Elvis.
No, but I certainly I put early money on JLC. I got $125 back when she won.
That's the thing. There were bets like that I didn't realize I had made until the morning of the Oscars, and I was checking my old bets, and I was like, holy shit, if Jamie Lee Curtis wins, I'm going to win a bunch of money tonight. And I completely forgot.
There's a possibility that I've got money in books I forgot about.
Oh, very possible. Because when this show started, you were naming some websites that I had never heard of before. And I'm sure you said them that night 3 months ago and then completely forgot that those websites existed.
Yeah, so we'll see about that. Obviously,
you've got to check your browser history.
If I put money in there, it wasn't much. All my money was in BetUS and Bovada because that's basically all we had. Well, I had.
So I'll ask you a practical question, because of course the greatest place to bet is WynnBET. He's a great man, great family. That's the place to gamble away everything you own. But
it's the family that I honestly think I respect the most. And I think this is a great time to talk about WynnBET some more. I'm sorry to break in.
Sure.
But
break in with WynnBET anytime.
Once isn't enough for me.
No.
It's the official online sportsbook of the network, baby. And it's now, okay, we say that list of states at the beginning. And I know it probably sounds like white noise at this point, but people, you might not have noticed, but Massachusetts is finally on board. They got legal, and they're going to get the good books. WynnBET is now available in Massachusetts. Congratulations, all you Red Sox fans.
Yes. I just so enthusiastic when I hear WynnBET is in a new state.
For sure. Also, March Madness is here, Pat. Don't be an idiot. Why did they write that in? So many ways to bet on the big dance, even if you're an idiot. Sign up today to receive a special offer. Bet $100 and get $100 limited to state availability. Sorry, non-Massachusettsans. And of course, for our Deegans only, if you hit the biggest long shot parlay of the week, you get a $1,000 free credit. There's so much to choose from. All you have to do. Why is all of this highlighted?
In the document we're looking at?
Yeah, usually the things that are highlighted are the things you have to say at the end, but now I'm seeing that there's a must read at the end. So this highlight means nothing. Anyway,
I think the highlight is a must read, and then must read is like
and then
definitely must read. Yeah.
Offer subject to change. Terms and conditions at winbet.com. Must be 21 or older and present in the state where play through WinBet is available. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, whoa, hard turn. Call 1-800-522-4700.
Yes. Get the help you need and then get back to gambling.
Okay, where the hell were we?
Well, we were talking about, I was saying how great WinBet is, but we, of course, had to use non-WinBet sites to bet on the Oscars because WinBet doesn't take Oscar money yet. We're working on it. So were you able to get all of your money out of Bet US? Because I haven't attempted to get mine out yet. I have to do that.
Oh, no, there's no problem. I mean, I told you, that's not the first time I've gotten money out of there.
Right. So they've already got plenty of pictures of you holding your license, and
I send them a new one every morning.
See, that's the key. I
don't wait for them, Pat.
Mm-hmm.
I want to make sure I get this money. My family needs this money.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So yeah.
Do you have any regrets? What's your biggest regret here?
I mean, listen, my biggest regret is to have not gambled more money, to have not found more sites that would take these bets early on. I know this was something you said from the start because Bovada is not available in New York City, where I am, greatest city in the world, other than it doesn't have Bovada. And I didn't put out the effort needed to get someone I know in California to just place bets for me. I didn't do that work. I didn't do that. So my biggest regret, which I think most people's biggest regret is I did not gamble more, because if I had gambled more, I would have won more. And I think that's a good rule for gambling in general. If you gamble more, you will win more.
Hey, Pat.
Yes.
What'd you get wrong?
What did I get wrong on my bet? I mean, obviously Austin Butler. Butler was the big one in terms of.
Let's go down the thing, because I actually hadn't counted.
Yeah.
So let's go best picture. We got that. Best actress,
picture, we got that.
We lost that. Best actor, I won that.
Yep.
And so that's where we differ first time.
So supporting actor, we both got that. Supporting actress,
I got that wrong.
Yeah, I think I had
I think Condon. You got it right. No. You did? Oh, okay.
And then
best director, you got that. Screenplay.
Screenplay, we ended up
talk about that because I got cut out or cut off, or I lost my Wi-Fi or whatever.
Well, we both said Everything Everywhere was going to win original.
Yes,
and and I will say,
I said All Quiet was going to win.
You had All Quiet. I will pat myself on the back because Women Talking was one of the ones I stayed with through this whole season.
Okay, so we're even. Best editing, we both had Everything Everywhere.
Yes, that was
original song. We both had Not To.
Yeah.
Sound, we both had Top Gun.
Yep.
Which was one that you were hot on, was going to win an Oscar, and I said never. But obviously by the end it was obvious that was not a close category.
Those plane engines couldn't be denied.
Visual effects, obviously Avatar. Original score, I got that right. Did you get that right as well? I believe you did.
What was original score again?
It was All Quiet over Babylon.
Yes, got that
right. We didn't say no Babylon, obviously.
We said no Babylon.
Production design,
production design, we got that because we said no Babylon.
Best animated short. Oh, the short side, I'm not even going to talk about. I mean, we didn't talk about them anyway. Okay.
Cinematography, we got
costume design, I got that over you.
Costume design, you got that, and makeup is the other one that I screwed us both. I screwed us.
So what is that? Is that one up for me, or are we tied?
I think we're tied on that.
I'm
one up for you. You're still one up. Yeah.
Okay, and then cinematography, All Quiet, we got that. Documentary feature, I said Navalny, and I believe you said Navalny.
I said Navalny too. Yeah.
Supporting actress, neither. Oh, we already talked about that. Animated
Yeah.
feature, Pinocchio. Okay, so I won by one. Is this what
You
we're
won by
saying?
one. Yeah. I mean,
Pending a
the thing
recount.
is, we did very well in terms of the Oscar polls. Um, I would
Yeah,
say
but we would
amongst,
not have won Greg's Oscar pool this year had he done it because we got actress wrong and
yes,
supporting actress. Those
yes.
categories are too big. We would have lost.
But I feel like supporting actress was such a dividing line, and even best actress would have went so many ways. There would have been very few people. I guess all you
That
needed
got
was
both
one.
of those. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
right.
But in a years past, the Oscar pool we used to do where there would be like 30 entrants,
Yeah,
there would have been one person who would have somehow got all the acting right.
yeah. And they would have
Um,
had Babylon for 8 categories other
yeah,
than that. And
yeah.
still. Weighted scoring. I don't know. I don't know if it's my favorite, but I can still dominate anyway. Okay, so that's it. It's how'd you feel when it was over? We had a lot of build up, huh?
I listen, I felt great. I was at a very small, so on Sunday I watched the show. It was a last minute change of plans.
Oh, this.
Went to a wife's, my wife's. I have one wife. I went to her a friend's house, and it was a small gathering, and it was not to be viewed live, which was not something I was expecting going there, but I rolled with it. I'm not making a scene. I rolled with it. It was on DVR, started later than I thought, but the main thing that affected me was I could not look at my phone. I could not look at my phone, obviously, because I'd be spoiled on Twitter. Also, could not look at any text messages because the only thing anyone was texting me about on Sunday night was the Academy Awards.
Yeah, well,
So,
obviously, because you've positioned your life that way. Now, I
yes,
can't tell you
yes.
how frustrating this was.
Oh, I'm sure.
Driving, I drove for like 20 hours in 3 days.
Mhm.
I got
Mhm.
home minutes before the ceremony. I would text you things like, "Oh my God, I know who wins Best Actress,"
Oh, it must have been killing you. I
and
know.
then 45 minutes later, I'd get a text back, "Michelle Yeoh."
Yeah.
I was like, "What fun! What a buildup! I got to talk to Lyra about all this, and she hates it."
Yeah. That's how people used to communicate about the Oscars like 60 years ago, though, is that everything was on a delay.
Yeah.
No one was talking instantaneously. Yeah, it was frustrating. I did get to watch it with no commercials because we were then fast forwarding through the commercials. So I watched in a compressed time, but I did not get to communicate with any of my friends. At one point I looked at my phone and I had over 250 messages that I could not look at because they were all going to be about the Oscars.
Wow. Well, no one else texted me. All right. Uh, what a weekend, Pat.
What a weekend.
I
Did you
drove
like
I drove to San Francisco and back.
Wow, how were the shows? Were the
Shows were great.
were they buzzing about the Oscars at your shows?
Buzzing. They wouldn't leave me alone. Should I watch Tar? Should I watch it? They
Mhm.
would say. Should I watch the movie? It's gotten a bunch of noms. Should I watch it?
Mhm.
High Rotten Tomato rate. Anyway, so I left my house 10 o'clock in the morning, Pat.
Mhm.
I have a show at 8 in San Francisco.
Okay.
So do you know how long it takes to drive to San Francisco?
From Los Angeles, is that an 8-hour drive? How long is that?
It's a 6.5 hour drive.
Wow, that's very long too.
So
That's a
guess
lot.
what? There were thunderstorms the whole way. White
Jeez.
knuckle driving the whole way.
Gee. Jeez.
Guess what else? So many road closures.
Oh
I
no.
drove 10 o'clock. I left. I parked in San Francisco, walked to the show, looked at my clock. It's 8 p.m. Took me 10 hours.
Wow. So did you basically park the car, crash the car at the
Crashed the car.
club.
Well, I mean, I
Eh,
parked on the sidewalk in where a trash can used to be.
Wow. You should have just pulled straight into the club right onto the stage. That would have been some entrance. If your car pulled
Yeah,
onto the stage, you may have killed people in the green room
I
or
would
whatever,
have, but
but
it's a basement theater. I couldn't get down there.
yeah. Yeah.
Like you
That's a
can
shame.
drive straight through a wall, but you cannot drive through a wall downstairs. There's no way to do it.
No, there isn't. They haven't come up with that yet. I mean, I
No.
bet you the WinBet family, the Win family has that technology, but
Well, I'll talk to my
it's
boy
not for.
Jer.
Yeah. Yeah, he'll let you borrow the car that goes
And
downstairs.
then the next night I had a show in Santa Cruz, but I was, staying in San Francisco, and it's about 45 minutes to the show, but road closures doubled.
Oh my god.
So it was a 3-hour round trip, just driving in the rain.
Wow.
Obviously,
Wow.
always in the rain.
Wow.
Anyway, it was a unique experience and
Mhm.
the worst driving experience of my life.
Mhm.
And I skidded out at one point, hydroplaned. Oh God, it was
Yeah.
so fucking terrifying. I thought I was gonna die.
Oh, if you had died before these Oscars,
Could you imagine?
I couldn't imagine. And I'm
I don't know the
and I'm
password to Bovada.
oh my god. We would have had to figure out how to get Lyra that $1,300.
Oh,
You know,
you would have just have to gifted it to her.
I would have got her that money. If
Yeah.
as my final in memory of Nick, I have to get this gambling money to his wife and child.
For sure.
Yeah, I would have done that for you.
Thank you. That's so nice.
Yeah, and then the Oscar ceremony happened on Sunday, and I would say it was a good show. I enjoyed it. It's Hollywood's biggest night. I mean, I will love this until the day I skid out on a road and die. I will always love watching the Oscars.
Yeah. I rate this Oscar.
Mm-hmm.
I would say a 5.
Okay.
I think it's a 10 when there's 2 slaps.
Oh, okay.
And I think it's a 5 when they just reference a slap.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a good 7.5 when just like somebody gets slapped. That's my rating system.
Have we? So we have yet to have a 10 Oscar yet, or did that
No, we've
happen
never
in the
had a 10. No, it's almost been exclusively 5s.
Yeah, yeah.
But this one, I thought there was like they came out and they're like, there's gonna be a slap joke, and everybody was just like a joke about the slap, but no one got slapped. I was hoping Quinta Brunson was gonna get to come out and slap Jimmy Kimmel.
Oh, as a that's a
Wouldn't
deep
that have been
cut,
funny?
though. It would have been funny, but then
it doesn't have to be a deep cut. I mean, he can just mention it. He's like, I
Right.
want to say I'm sorry to Quinta. If you remember at the Emmys, blah blah blah.
Right. And then she comes out and slaps him.
He hosted the Emmys and the Oscars.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's just one blockbuster awards away from the hosting trifecta.
That guy who's been on ABC for 20 years sure is liked by ABC. What's next?
Yeah.
Tom Bergeron's back.
Maybe Kimmel will get the Dick Clark's Rockin' Eve slot.
Once you think he's going to outlive Seacrest?
Oh yeah, that's right. Seacrest is he's never given that up. So Nick, so we won a lot of money.
Yeah.
We both lived to see the Oscars.
Yeah.
So what is next for us with Oscar gambling? Obviously we can't do it for a while.
Yeah.
But are you going to be keeping your eyes open for next year's Oscar winners?
Okay, Pat, I think this is a great question because this is something I wanted to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And I really think that the thing that distinguishes our show from all of the shows that said vote for the Fabelmans, vote for Babylons, maybe it's going to be Ichiro Suzuki. I forget his name.
Yeah. But we all know him.
The guy who wrote Living.
Yep.
I must have listened to 25 podcasts where
Mhm,
someone said I think he's got a good chance, even though he
mhm,
never stopped being fifth place.
mhm,
And you
mhm.
know why? Because they met him at different awards presentations at different festivals, and he charmed them.
Yes.
I do not
Yes.
think there is merit in knowing anything until next award season begins, until the Gotham Awards.
Mhm, mhm. Well, if you look at the last couple of years, Coda and Everything Everywhere is Best Picture, those are both movies that nobody at the beginning of the year had pegged for being anywhere near an Oscar movie. You know,
Would you
like
say the same was for Nomadland?
I would think
Because
so
it came
too.
out on Hulu.
It came out on Hulu in September. You know, if right now we were to sit down and say what's going to win Best Picture next year, we're going to be like, all
Scream
right, there's this
6.
Screams. I mean, listen, I saw it on Saturday night. It's in my top 5 right now. If we were to look at it, it's like Scorsese's got his DiCaprio movie comes out this year, and Fincher's got a serial killer movie. So it's like, oh, okay, one of those is going to win. It's going to be some movie that none of us have ever heard of
Right.
at
Why
this
would I need to
moment.
fall in love with the screenwriter of Scream 6 when the movie that's going to win won't come out until March of next year?
Right, right, right. So basically, that is why we take some time off now because it's not like we're scouting the next best picture winner in the next couple of months. It's all going to start making sense next fall. So that is when we get back into it. We start reading the tea leaves. We don't go to any of the parties because we're not going to let them charm us and change our bets. Because the
No.
less
And
you know,
do you think that even like the amount of thought we put into this leading up to the Oscars in the months beforehand make us worse at betting on the Oscars? Like on our Oscar pool? Even though we did quite well,
yeah, yeah.
we wouldn't have won because I have sat with Kate Blanchett too much. That's the only thing I
Mm,
did wrong,
mm-hmm,
you know?
mm-hmm,
If
mm-hmm.
I'd gotten Kate Blanchett, if I had done my old system, which was basically to look at Gold Derby,
Right.
um, and it would have been so overwhelmingly Michelle Yeoh that I would have done it.
Right, right. I mean, it really comes
But I
down
don't
to
know
for
if I
the
would have done
Oscar poll, look at the odds the day of because it's usually pretty close. I mean, obviously they still have like Babylon production design and a few other things, but the
But all the
lines,
above the line
yeah,
nailed
they
it,
they,
right?
they
No,
nail the above the
what
line.
no, Angela Bassett was still number 1, right?
Was she still? I mean, that was such a rare pick'em acting
Yeah.
category. The acting
Yeah.
categories are rarely undecided by the time
Yeah.
you get to day of. Um,
I
yeah, I
don't
think
We never
I
heard a peep from Andrea Riseborough.
we did not. She really got scared off after they investigated her for the nomination fiasco. She
Do you think they
really,
told her? They were like, "Hey, Riseborough, you better not show your face in any interviews. I better
yeah,
not see you on 60 Minutes."
the president of the MPAA like put her hand in a vice or something like that.
Well, she's
Was she
currently in prison at Price Waterhouse.
wow. I mean, I'm sure it's not as nice as the prison
She
we're
got
at
Yeah,
right now
she
in the
got
Chateau
busted
Marmont.
by a Price Waterhouse copper.
Wow. Huge news.
Yeah.
Was she at the Oscars? I also feel like I didn't even see her sitting there. She must have been. Why wouldn't she go? She broke all those rules to get nominated. Of
No,
course
for
she's gonna
sure.
go.
But yeah, she probably was not featured outside of her little 5 seconds at the end when they
Yeah.
announced Michelle Yeoh, because the Academy's like literally mad at her, and probably for that reason, like Jimmy Kimmel's wonderful writers
Mhm.
wrote Riseborough bits. How
You
could you have
know,
not?
there were no jokes about Riseborough.
Nothing.
I wonder if he cut them because they didn't test well at the Comedy Magic Club or,
Yeah.
wherever he workshopped those jokes, or if the Academy told him, "Do not mention the Riseborough stuff.
Well,
We do not wanna
I
make a joke
do.
about
There
that."
was an announcement today by Netflix
Mhm.
that next year, right before the Oscars, Viola Davis and Danielle Deadwyler are going to do a comedy special. And in the last 10 minutes, they're going to finally talk about the Andrea Riseborough scandal.
Oh, wow. Oh, so they're gonna do it a week before the Oscars. That's huge.
Yeah, they're not very funny, but they're going to do it like that lady who lip syncs Trump, who does it,
Right.
who's never had an idea. You don't have to.
Right. I mean, listen, if they could somehow get her to work on it with
Well,
them
they're going to
in this
do
guy.
karaoke, Chris Rock karaoke.
The one thing I would advise them is don't do it live. That way, if you mess up one of your jokes, you want to be able to edit that out and redo it. So that's my advice for Viola Davis and Daniel Deadwyler's comedy special next year, a week
Yeah.
before the Oscars. Tape it the night before.
But if you're going to screw up one joke, at least make it not that good of a joke.
Yes, yes, yes. So that was a smart move on his part. So yeah, listen, I'm excited for next year's Oscars. The Oscar ratings, the TV ratings were up this year from the year before, so more people do care about the Oscars than they did a year ago. Way less people than did 4 years ago, but still, it's something.
When it was in the train station.
The train
That was
station Oscars
2 years.
is I think that is the worst Oscars. I mean, obviously the slap Oscars is the best
The best
Oscars. Train
Oscar, yes.
station
But they're
Oscars
giving
is
us
the
both.
worst. Yeah.
They said sorry and gave us this.
Yeah.
So I did like that there was one incoherent speech, and I can't remember what it was.
An incoherent speech.
Who
All
had an
the acting
incoherent
speeches were
speech?
good.
They were
Uh
so good. I cried so many times.
uh-huh. The Kiwi
My
Kwan
God.
speech was incredible.
How are you not crying at that? Well, you couldn't because you were with people. But I was
I saw
just with
it.
my family.
And also the DVR did not capture that. So I didn't see the Kiwi Kwan speech until
Oh,
hours
oh, oh,
later.
oh. It was Brendan Fraser's. And I was like, so this is incredible. He didn't even have to slap anyone, but he got the moment to have a very long, incoherent speech, just like the last Best Actor winner.
Brendan Fraser did so many metaphors in his goddamn speech. It was, we are all a whale, and like a whale, we live underwater, and like water, we're wet, and like things that were wet, we could be dry. It's like, who are you? Who am I? What is this Oscar? Like, just
And
speak.
he rips his face off, and surprise, it's Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, that would make so much sense if Brendan Fraser this whole time had been a Joaquin Phoenix like documentary character.
Yo, okay, so did you see it coming that Harrison Ford was going to give the Oscar to Kiwi Kwan?
Oh, I mean, listen,
How
that's
great
one
is
of those. That's I love the balls of the Oscars that a couple of years ago
What
they
if like and Harrison Ford to Barry Keoghan?
Yep. They did, a couple of years ago, they put the best actor last because they knew it was going to be Chadwick Boseman. And instead, it was Anthony Hopkins. And it was the craziest, most deflating
That's so
end to an
funny.
Oscars.
At
But
least it's not someone that would like only make sense in the context of Kiwi Kwan.
yes. Like if Harrison Ford had to give it to Steven Spielberg for The Fableman, that also would have worked.
Yeah.
And if he had to give it to a German guy for All Quiet, he could have punched him.
That's really funny.
Yeah. And then
He
people would
hates
have said, oh,
Nazis.
I do wonder if All Quiet on the Western Front had one Best Picture, if Harrison Ford would have slugged the German director who came up to get it. I think he may have done it.
Yeah, no, definitely. 100%. So,
Yeah.
I have another question.
Okay.
What the fuck happened to the In Memoriam where the Academy president was the last person featured?
Yeah, that
Do you
was
think that
bullshit.
was set up while he was alive? Like maybe like I kept fantasizing like he would like always tell anyone who listens, he's like, as the Academy president or whatever, he's like, that's what I want. That's always what I wanted. Or do
Mhm.
you think someone was just like, this is the ultimate tribute to this man? They must have loved this man. What do you think what happened there?
Oh, so I like you're thinking of it as like a really sweet thing where he said he would love to have it. They loved him so much they did it.
Yeah.
I think there's a chance he had that written into the bylaws before he stopped being president of the academy. That
Yeah.
they looked and they were hamstrung and the lawyers were like, "Listen, this is ironclad. We have to have him last in the in memoriam." He wrote
Yeah.
this into the bylaws 10 years ago.
Or I guess, if you want to go just like uh full I don't know, conspiracy theory. Maybe he did it. The current guy put it this way so that someone else would put him last.
Oh, yeah, I could see that, like a tit for tat thing where now the precedent is set. That
Also, you noticed it was
yeah.
James Caan and then um what's her face? Sophia Loren and then the president, which I feel like James Caan has to be a bigger name than Sophia Loren.
Mhm.
And they flipped him so it wouldn't seem like such a hard turn at the end.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, what they should have done is done like James Caan, then like 3 cameramen, and then the
Yes.
president of like really let us forget about the celebrity who should have been
Right.
last,
Right.
which was James Caan.
Interesting. Never seen it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, this is so much fun. I cannot wait for next year. We've had so many versions of this show so far.
And
Well,
there will be
two.
more.
And I feel like next year we can really do this shit right. So join us the first
Yes.
week in December for the next season of the Show Me the Money or whatever it's called then.
Mhm.
Probably something different, right?
It possibly will be called something different.
There's no
We'll see.
reason to keep the name.
I mean, I think we should change the name every year and let our listeners do a little detective work to find
Yeah.
us.
Yeah. And we won't even put it on our Twitter. We won't even
No,
tell
no.
anyone we're doing it.
No, we're gonna modulate our voices. It's gonna be completely impossible to figure out who we are.
All
But
right,
we'll be
guys.
out
Yeah.
there.
Thank you so much. We love you. Goodbye. Listen to the BO boys. Listen to fraudsters. We're out.
Gamble forever.